What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so have we seen the end of John Boyega as Finn in Star Wars? I personally thought so. But then, he's now coming back and making statements that maybe, just maybe, he's still open up to the idea. But I'm going to read you two conflicting things that he said. And let you be the judge of where you think his mind is and what he's really wanting out of Finn. So let's just go ahead and read this real quick. It says right here, but in a resurfaced clip from a 2020 interview with Jake's Take, Boyega, 29, indicated he would be open to returning for more films under certain behind-the-scenes conditions. I'm open to the conversation as long as it is Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams, and maybe someone else on their team. Then it's a no-brainer. Says that. Get this. This is 2020. He says this. Alright. Come down here. He states, then in September 2020, Boyega criticized Disney, the studio behind the franchise, for his character's Finn's arc in the series during an interview with British GQ. It's so difficult to maneuver, Boyega said, of how he reflects on his time making Star Wars. You get yourself involved in new projects and you're not necessarily going to like everything. But what I would say to Disney is, do not bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. It's not good, and I'll say it straight up. Okay, you'll say it straight up, but then you leave the possibility of returning to that same character. Now, this is among one of many things that John Boyega has said about returning to Star Wars. He's told a bunch of Twitter users that he's done with that. And he says he's done with that because he don't like playing the same character that many times. He wants to be known for something else than Finn. There's a lot of reasons why he says that he doesn't want to be back as Finn. But you know, when you have these contradicting views, when you have this moral stance, basically, that John Boyega threw out there of, hey, Disney did me wrong as a black man and tried to portray me over here as something that was going to be big and monumental. And then, you know, you take Chinese audiences over there, they make him smaller, almost non-existent on the posters for China. And so, you know, and then plus, look, let's face it, his character was barely a background character. He really was. He was just there for maybe slight comic relief, and that was really it. There was no consistent, I will say this about his character. There was no consistent plan that J.J. Abrams or Kathleen Kennedy had for John Boyega's Finn. There was nothing. I can understand why he'd be pissed. I can understand why he would not want to return as Finn. I wouldn't either if I was him. I mean, look, if you come over here and you market me to American audiences and, you know, and promote, send him out there in promotions in America, but then you turn back around and you go and say, you know what, we're going to lessen you on, you know, the posters for over there in China because we don't want a black man really, you know, taking center stage, or the audiences over there might not like that. Well, you know what? Seems like everything that you did over here was hollow. If that's really the way you feel, then yeah, if I was John Boyega from a moral standpoint, I would want nothing to do with Disney. I thought that's where John Boyega was at. But you know what? When John Boyega, when he goes out there and he criticizes everything that Disney has done, but then is like, oh, the same people that did this, that was over the creative control of it, that made my character what it was, if they're back doing it, then yeah, I'm definitely on board. It's a no-brainer. Doesn't make sense, John Boyega. I'll lose a lot of respect for your character if you go back and you try to play Finn. I personally don't think you'll get a chance. I don't think Disney will promote the sequel trilogy anymore. I just don't believe they will. I think Rey Skywalker burned that bridge. Daisy Ridley is not coming back as Rey. She's just not. Fans wouldn't have it. If they want to see a bust, they will see a bust. If they bring back those sequel trilogy characters, fans aren't having it. They're just not. The more that movie has settled, or those trilogy of movies have settled, the more people have like, oh crap, that was terrible. Like, there's not as much excitement about it as what there was. You know, when it first came out, there was people that was like, half the people loved it, half the people didn't. But I think as time has gone along, more and more people have realized, wow, you know, that last movie didn't really make any sense. And the first one in that sequel trilogy was basically just a redo of a past one. I mean, it's basically the Luke Skywalker story just with Rey in it, basically. So I'm like, I don't see an audience for it. I see maybe Disney later on retconning it, maybe saying, maybe try to do a world in between worlds kind of thing, and you know, kind of having a kind of like a multiverse. I can maybe see Star Wars going in that route a little bit. I think it would, you know, to a certain extent, I think it would be kind of fun if they did something like that. I'm more in favor of that in Star Wars than I am even in the MCU. But overall, guys, what do y'all think? Do you feel like John Boyega is really standing on his principles here? Because I feel like he's backtracking in a big, big way. I don't particularly like anybody that does it, no matter what their viewpoint is. I might disagree with John Boyega in a lot of different ways, but I felt like in that regard, he was standing on principles there. He was telling Disney exactly what he thought, what he should have, as a prominent black figure in Star Wars. He should have called out Disney. He did do that, and now I feel like he's backtracking on it a little bit. I feel like he's saying, as long as the same people that just did that to me are involved, all that bad stuff to me are involved in this one, then yeah, it's a no-brainer. I'll do it. So I'm like, what are you thinking, John Boyega? Like, are you going to stand on your principles, not do anything with Finn anymore, and you're going to come out and say, yeah, I'm totally open to it? I just say put your money and your principles where your mouth is when it comes to that. If I was personally him, I wouldn't want any part of Disney. I feel like Disney did him wrong. I felt like even, you know, you take Daisy Ridley, for instance, I felt like Disney did her wrong. You know, they made her character so one-dimensional, so unlikable, that it just ruined her characters. They could have made her into a very layered character, kind of like what they did with Luke Skywalker, you know, done something along those lines. But no, they were like, you're a woman and that's enough. That'll get fans interested. They didn't really want a strong female presence in there. They just wanted to say they had a female presence. They wanted to say that they had a black guy in Star Wars. They wanted to say those things. But they didn't really want to portray it in their movies. They didn't. So if anyone is to blame for the sequel trilogy's problems, it's not the actors. It is the writing, the behind the scenes people like Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams, that sidelined all of John Boyega, that created a one-dimensional character in Rey, and then added this Skywalker title to it, which just completely pissed off fans altogether. So I mean, overall, I'll say this, you know, I'm going to lose a lot of respect for John Boyega if somewhere in the future they do decide to make some kind of sequel trilogy little add on to it. I don't think it'll ever be like another movie or anything like that. But if he just even appears in something Star Wars, I'll be like, come on, man. Come on. Like, Disney did you wrong in so many different ways. They disrespected you. They used you. And yet you're still, because of money, still willing to put those principles aside, put those slights aside, just so you can make an extra buck. I feel like that just goes against principles. I hope John Boyega isn't that way. I have a little bit more faith in him, or at least I used to when he called out Disney that wasn't going to happen. But hey, money talks. Money talks. But as always, guys, let me know what y'all think. Do you think Finn will ever appear in the Star Wars again? Or do you think he's, like I said before, he's out. He's done. He's never played Finn again. Let me know what y'all think down below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.